Hello dear students, today we'll be discussing measurement of interest, different tools. The objectives set for the lecture are to understand the meaning and characteristics of interest, to understand the purpose of interest testing, to understand various methods or tools for measuring interest. In Latin, the word interest means it matters or it concerns. Now a thing that interests us is just something that concerns us or matters to us. Interest is considered a powerful dictator, inspirer, and motivator. Interest is a feeling that prompts us to spontaneous activity. Interest is something within the child. It is to be aroused and promoted by different means. Interest may refer to the motivating force that impels us to attend to a person, a thing, or an activity, or it may be the effective experience that have been stimulated by the activity itself. In other words, interest can be the cause of an activity and the result of participation in the activity. We may say that we attend to such objects which interest us. In brief, interest may be defined as a tendency to select certain activity or thing in preference to others, or to make choices in a certain direction without any external pressure. Bingham said, "An interest is a tendency to become absorbed in experience and to continue it." Guilford said, "Interest is a tendency to give attention, to attract by, to like and find satisfaction in an activity, object or person." Now, characteristics of interest. Number 1. Interests are the product of heredity and environment. Number 2. Interests vary with age and place but are relatively stable. Number 3. There is inter and intra-individual difference in interest. Number 4, interest determines one's personality. Number 5, there is positive correlation between interest and achievement. Number 6, interest can be measured. Number 7, interests are not necessarily related to ability or aptitude. Number 8, interest is a subjective concept, so measuring of interest objectively is tough. Number 9, interest is a precondition to attention. Number 10, pursuit of one's interests provides energy and driving force. Now, purpose of interest testing. Human behavior is a reflection of some psychological traits within him. One's behavior determines his personality, and personality is the expression of one's attitude, motivation, interest, etc. One's success in life is mostly determined by his interest in it. Interest is often thought of as a process that contributes to learning and achievement. An uninteresting work or activity means a lifeless burden. Interest is of great significance in education. People's interests are tested for different purposes. Let's have a view on the purpose of interest testing. Number 1. Interest testing helps us encourage selection for the students. Number 2. It helps us in provision of educational and vocational guidance and counseling to the students. Number 3. It predicts the success of student in future. Number 4. It provides information to the teachers and counselors regarding students' preference. Number 5. It helps the parents to nurture their children according to their interest. Number 6. It helps the youths to channelize their energies in different directions. Number 7. It helps us in selection of right person for the right work, like round peg in the round hole and square peg in the square hole. Now, methods of measuring interest. There are various methods of measuring interest, such as interview, checklist, observation, questionnaires, tests, rating scale, and inventories. A brief discussion of such methods is given as: Number 1. Observation. Through observation, we can assess interests of people. Generally, people manifest their interest in different kinds of activities. Participant and non-participant observation help in measuring the interest of individuals. Number 2. Interview. Interview is also a good technique to assess interests. Through interview, people express their interests verbally. It is less time consuming and easygoing. Number 3. Checklist. In a checklist, items of different interests are given and the testee is supposed to check the items according to his interest. From this, the individual's interest can be assessed. Number 4. Rating scale. Rating scale expresses the degree or level of interest of an individual towards some activity. Rating scales are mostly helpful in career guidance to the student. Number 5. Questionnaire. Through questionnaire, we can get the knowledge of an individual's interest. The questionnaires can either be sent to the people by post or the examiner can ask them the questions from the questionnaire. It reflects people's hidden interests. Number 6. Tests. Different kinds of tests are also used to assess interest. The tests may be subjective or objective. For admission in B.Ed course, there is an entrance test for the students. The students appearing in the entrance reflects their interest towards teaching profession. Number 7. Interest inventory. An interest inventory is a testing instrument designed for the purpose of measuring and evaluating the level of an individual's interest in or preference for a variety of activities. Interest inventories are mostly used to assess the interest of people. A number of interest inventories have been developed from time to time to measure interest in different fields. Some of the important interest inventories are discussed here as: Number 1. Strong's Vocational Interest Blank. The first widely used interest inventory was the Strong's Vocational Interest Blank, developed in 1927 by E.K. Strong. The original test was designed for men only. A version for women was developed in 1933. After that, it was revised from time to time. Now, 1966 version is in use almost at all places. It is applicable to measure interest of college students and employed adults. It can be scored for more than 50 occupations. The scores obtained are given grades like A, B+, B, B-, and C. Grades A means that the individual's interests are very similar to those of men in occupation. Similarly, grades of B+, B or B- indicate the degree to which they are similar to grade A. The grade C indicates that there is no agreement between the individual's interest and those of men in occupations. Strong assumed that persons belonging to a particular occupation tend to have similar interests. A person having similar constellation of interests would be happy in the pursuit of that occupation. Strong identified the interests of successful lawyers, doctors, engineers, and business executives. It was found that persons engaged in different occupations were characterized by common interests which differentiated them from others. These differences in interests extended not only to matters pertaining to job activities but also to schoolwork, hobbies, sports, types of plays or books which the individual enjoyed, social relations, and many other facets of everyday life. Each profession generates special interests. Strong assumed that interests would remain fairly constant. When administered during late adolescence, it usually predicts the kind of occupation that will provide satisfaction to a person in life. The test was constructed by listing questions on hundreds of activities, both vocational and avocational. SVIB is available in separate forms for men and women from age of 17 onwards. It contains 400 items dealing with likes and dislikes in occupation, school subjects, amusements, activities, and personality traits. Number 2, Tutor Preference Record. SVIB does not tell just what a subject really likes to do. It merely compares interests of a person with others who were successful in various occupations. We will need a descriptive interest scale that is provided by the Tutor Preference Record. This is found most useful in the area of vocational guidance. Its major purpose is to indicate relative interest in a small number of broad areas rather than in specific occupations. This record has 3 types. Number 1, Vocational Preference Record. Number 2, Occupational Preference Record. Number 3, Personal Preference Record. This is one of the most widely used vocational tests and inventories. It is designed for use with high school and college students and also with adult men and women. But it can be administered to 8th grade boys and girls also. There is no time limit for administering it, but takes 30 to 60 minutes in case of different groups. It consists of preference items arranged in traits. There are 168 items in its standard form. It measures 10 different types of interests. Number 1, outdoor. Number 2, mechanical. Number 3, computational. Number 4, scientific. Number 5, persuasive. Number 6, literary. Number 7, musical. Number 8, artistic. Number 9, social service. And number 10, clerical. Number 3, Thurston Interest Schedule. In 1931, Thurston calculated correlation coefficients among 18 professions and, on the basis of correlation matrix thus obtained, factor analysis was made and found following 4 interest factors. Number 1, interest in science. Number 2, interest in language. Number 3, interest in human beings. Number 4, interest in business. Thurston called these 4 interests as primary interests. In 1936, he again made factor analysis of 80 professions and found following 8 interest factors. Number 1, business. Number 2, law. Number 3, aesthetic. Number 4, education. Number 5, biological. Number 6, artistic. Number 7, physics. Number 8, descriptive. Keeping in mind these interest factors, Thurston prepared an interest schedule. In this schedule, a person is asked which of the profession he likes most, or he is asked at his choice of interests. Professions are presented in the form of pair and the person is asked to show his preference likewise. Further, the person is made clear that there is difference between these two pairs of professions with regard to income or prestige. To select profession, following four instructions are given. A. Indicate 1 if you like 1. B. Indicate 2 if you like 2. C. Indicate 1 and 2 if you like both. D. Cross 1 and 2 if you dislike both. Thus, on a sheet of 100 square figures, an object is required to tick professions. Examiner, on the basis of such tick marks, tries to trace interest trends of the person. Number 4. Lathrop Occupational Interest Inventory. It consists of a set of questions which are selected and arranged not on statistical basis but on the basis of judgment. There are 30 triads and 120 pairs of items which describe the kind of work people do. The subject has to select one out of the given choices even though he does not like either or likes all of them. From the scores obtained by a person on this inventory, we can find: Number 1. Fields of interests: personal, social, natural, mechanical. Number 2. Types of interests: verbal, manipulative, computational. Number 3. Level of interests: low, medium, high. The inventory measures interest in 6 occupational fields as natural, mechanical, scientific, art, trade, personal, and social. Number 5. Minnesota Vocational Interest Inventory. It is an empirically keyed inventory designed to appraise interests in non-professional occupations. It is designed for high school students or young adults with limited education. It consists of 158 triads of brief statements which describe the task or activities in variety of trades like repairing electric wiring, etc. It succeeds in identifying the interests of non-professionals. It provides interest measures suitable for non-college bound high school students and adults in occupations. Number 6. Joist Picture Interest Inventory. Joist Picture Interest Inventory is used to measure interest of a person in 11 different fields as persuasive, clerical, mechanical, musical, scientific, outdoor, literary, computational, artistic, social service, and drama. The total number of items is 44 and each item is accompanied by 3 figures selected on the basis of vocational and non-vocational activities. This inventory may be administered individually or on group basis. There is no time limit of administration of the inventory. With the help of this inventory, one can also know or trace the underlying motivational forces owing to which a person has expressed his interest in a particular profession. Number 7. Educational Interest Record by Dr. S.P. Kulshrestha. Educational Interest Record was first developed in the year 1965, which was thoroughly revised in 1970, 1975 and 1978 by the author. This record has been consistently in use in various research studies, research projects and also proved easy and beneficial for the students of testing, particularly at graduate and postgraduate levels of many universities in psychology and education subjects. Guidance workers have also used it and found it useful as a screening device for finding out the educational interests of their clients. Educational interests are defined as one's own pattern of preferences, likes and dislikes preferred in any manner, wisely or unwisely by self or by any other source for a given educational area or subject. Therefore, the purpose of this record is to aid students to adjust themselves to their education by making wise choices of the subjects of study. Only by making right choice by each child will be able to utilize his educational potentialities to the maximum possible extent. The record contains 98 educational subjects belonging to 7 different educational interest areas. It measures interest in 7 areas: agriculture, commerce, fine arts, home science, humanities, science and technology. Number 8. Bureau of Psychology Allahabad Interest Inventory. This inventory is constructed on the basis of Cuder's inventory. This test includes 80 test items and the test is divided into 10 parts. Total 20 items are constructed on parts 3, 8, 9 and 1 containing each 5 and total 60 items are constructed on the remaining 6 parts containing each 10. In these items, 5 vocational activities are also included and in front of or below each item numbers 2, 1 and 0 are marked. These numbers mean or stand for much liking, normal or ordinary liking and totally disliking respectively. The candidate is required to encircle any of the 3 options depicting his much liking, normal liking or total disliking. Though there is no time limit to attempt the test, yet the candidate is supposed to finish the test as early as possible. The 10 parts of the inventory are related with the same 10 interests. Number 1, outdoor. Number 2, mechanical. Number 3, computational. Number 4, scientific. Number 5, persuasive. Number 6, artistic. Number 7, literary. Number 8, musical. Number 9, social service. Number 10, clerical. In the end, on the basis of marks obtained on different parts of the inventory, a profile is constructed showing vocational interest of the subject. Number 9. Chatterjee's Non-Language Preference Record. This is an Indian non-language prepared by S. Chatterjee of Kolkata. It consists of 150 items, each having 3 stick pictures representing activities of 3 vocations, out of which the individual has to prefer one. It measures 10 types of interests such as Number 1 artistic, number 2 literary, number 3 scientific, number 4 medicine, number 5 agriculture, number 6 technical, number 7 crafts, number 8 outdoor, number 9 sports, and number 10 domestic. Conclusion. From the above discussion, we can conclude that interest is such a powerful dictator, inspirer, and motivator which influences and determines the success of an individual in his life. A number of methods can be employed for measuring interests, such as interview, checklist, observation, questionnaires, tests, rating scale, and inventories. So, dear students, this was all about today's lecture. Hope you have understood it well. Thank you.